How much longer can this go before it doesn't really matter whether there is a deal or not, because the the tariffs and all that are hitting home already?
Look, Kelly, I think that's a big question. I think everybody expected us to get to a deal after Secretary Mnuchin said we were in the final laps of our negotiations, and now the president is saying we're not ready to do a deal. So I think conventional wisdom or wisdom would suggest this is going to play out for some period of time, and we just don't know where it's going to end. And as a result, I think we're going to see lots of fits and starts.
A lot of people now are saying it went from a couple of months ago to, of course, there's going to be a deal, everything's fine. Now people are drawing Cold War comparisons and 30 years war comparisons and Iraq war comparisons. And what lens would you use to think about the environment we're in today?
Look, I think this was never going to be easy. The president and the administration was never going to be able to have a panacea to the full panoply of issues that we face with China. But there should be an outcome where we can get to a win here. And I do expect that to happen. It is not going to be nearly as grand, I would imagine, as the president and the administration will suggest. This is going to be a generational struggle between the West, led by the United States, and China, because we have fundamentally different systems and these issues are so complex. And this negotiation, I think, is going to be an ongoing one.
So no quick resolution. This drags out for some time. They could just get used to the tariffs and expect them to escalate even.
Well, we may pull back the tariffs. I mean, kind of who knows, depending on what they can get. But even if we do make progress on intellectual property, on market access, we're not going to solve the issue of the state control of the large portion of the Chinese economy and the fact that they are a non-market economy and how we should be effectively interacting with them in that context. That is just not something that can be negotiated away.
So on the one hand, Stefan, the president said over the weekend they would like to make a deal. We're not ready to make a deal. And then in another breath, he says, I think sometime in the future, China and the United States will absolutely have a great trade deal. And we look forward to that, because I don't believe that China can continue to pay these really hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. I don't believe they can do that. Would you clarify something for me again? Is it China who's paying these tariffs? And if so, in what way are they paying them as opposed to U.S. importers that are bringing in those Chinese goods?
Well, Tyler, so much of that just doesn't make economic sense. As your previous reporter said, the cost to American consumers this year alone will be on average $831 per family. So the United States and China both are suffering because of these tariffs. Tariffs are taxes. And the fact is the president said this was going to be an easy war to win. It hasn't turned out that way. Just last week, obviously, we put forward a $16 billion aid assistance bill to U.S. farmers. Soybeans have hit their decade low, as evidencing this is not going to be either short or easy, and both sides are paying and will pay.